Hey everyone, welcome
Hey.
back to the channel, and today we've got something a little bit different for you.
Yes.
So we mentioned last week in the reaction vlog that would be the last one for a little while, and we're going to be doing a few weeks of different videos, although some of you did mention that you'd be interested in seeing us react to the Tokyo vlogs.
Oh yeah, I'd really like to watch those back. Maybe
Yes.
if people let us know in the comments if that's something you'd like to see.
Yeah.
I would definitely be up for reacting to the Tokyo vlogs.
Yeah, I haven't seen them for ages, and we just kind of haven't thought about doing that, so yeah, let us know if that's something you'd be interested in.
Especially because we didn't get to do our planned Tokyo trip this year. We'll get
No.
to at least live vicariously through our own vlogs.
I know, and I don't even know if we're going to get to do it next year, but that's a whole other story.
Let's not think about that right now.
We'll see what happens. So yeah, let us know about that, but we've got a few videos over the next few weeks that we're going to be doing, and today we're doing our Disney bucket list.
Yes.
So we talk a lot about things we recommend at Disney, and we get loads of questions from you guys about what should we do and things like that, but we're talking today about things we haven't done.
Yeah.
So we've split it into 3 categories: rides, resorts and restaurants.
All the 3 R's.
All the 3 R's,
Nice.
yes. So we're going to be talking about those. We've got 3 each in each category. So we'll be comparing lists. There may be some crossover, I would imagine.
Yeah, I don't know whether there is any crossover yet. You do, because you've seen my list.
I've already forgotten what was on
You've already
there, to be
forgotten it.
honest. So
Excellent.
yeah, I don't know. So we're going to go through those 3 categories and talk about, you know, why we maybe haven't done them. Are they on the agenda for the next trip? If not, why? And all that kind of stuff. So
That's it. These are all
yeah.
things that we want to do that we just
Yes.
either haven't had the chance or haven't got round to, or you guys know what it's like.
yeah. Having said that though, when I was doing this list, it really got me thinking that how have I not done these things in 20 trips? I've done 20 trips now to Disney World, and I still have things in these categories that I have not done. Restaurants, there's still quite a few that I haven't done, but rides was the easiest one, I think, in terms of I have done most things. But we're going to start with rides, I think.
Do you want to set us off with your first one?
I can do,
All
I
right.
can do. So the first one of mine is over in Animal Kingdom. And when I was looking, this made my list because I just don't know why I've never done it. I didn't really have any explanation.
I'm trying to guess what it is. I can't even think.
So it's Kali River Rapids.
Oh,
Which is hard
have
to
you
say.
never done
Remember
that?
that. Kali River Rapids.
Does that mean I've never done that? Because I looked at that and almost put it on my list, and then I thought, no, I've done that. But maybe I'm getting confused with the similar ride they have at Universal.
It's entirely possible you have done it without me, because sometimes you do rides that I don't necessarily want to do in that moment.
That'd be a weird one to do on your own, though.
Yeah, I don't think you have. I think we've done...
I think I'm getting confused, because I remember now us both getting off... I forget the actual name of the attraction that's like that in Universal.
It's Popeye's Bilge Rat Barges or something like that. It's a really
Rat Barge,
it's a weird name, yeah.
I remember us getting off that and being soaked,
Yes.
so maybe I got confused with that.
I think
and
we
I've
did.
not actually done Kali River Rapids. In which case, can I get in on this one as well?
Yeah, I don't know why I've never done it. I'm not afraid of water rides and stuff. I mean, I don't love getting soaked, as you know, in the middle of the day. But there's definitely been occasions at Animal Kingdom, with it being so hot in that park, where I 100% would have been happy to get soaking wet just to cool off a little bit.
Yeah.
But we've just never done it.
Do you know what I think it might be? I think quite a lot of the time when we go to Animal Kingdom, because they have slightly shorter opening hours and the nature of the things we want to do in that park, it's often not the longest park day for us.
Yeah, that's
And so
true.
often we're then planning to go somewhere else afterwards, whether it's somewhere for
Yes.
dinner or maybe to another park. So perhaps that's put us off doing a wet ride where we're going to get soaked.
Maybe that could be
Maybe.
the case. Also, I feel like that ride is kind of not as obvious as a lot of others. So when you're walking around the park, for example, when you walk past Everest, you can't fail
can't
to
miss
see
Everest.
it. You can't miss it. You can hear it. You can hear people riding it. Same when you're kind of in Pandora, because there's only a couple of attractions in that area. You will kind of see them as you go around. But I feel like Kali River Rapids is kind of a bit hidden away in the corner.
Yeah, it's sort of in that in-between, isn't it? Kind of not right by anything, just kind of on the connection between places.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain what I mean, and I'm not using my words very well, but you know what I mean. It is easy to overlook.
To miss
is what I'm
it,
saying.
yeah. So what's first on your list?
So the first thing I've got on my list is actually something that probably most people have done, and I don't know why I've just kept not doing it, because it's not hidden away, it's not like a little known attraction, it's very well known. So this is Hall of Presidents.
Oh, okay.
I've never done Hall of
Yeah,
Presidents.
you haven't. I have.
And I really enjoy a lot of like kind of American history and like Americana and all that kind of stuff. You know, I like going to the US and I like the people in the US and all that. So I'm really surprised that I've never done this. Yeah, so I don't know why I've never got around to it. It's just, we always walk past it, and I've even said before, I think, as we're walking past, it's like, oh, I should do Hall of Presidents sometime. I just never have.
I think it might be a couple of things. It's quite long as attractions go, so it's not necessarily like...
You can't just pop in and do it.
Yeah, if you ride Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, it's like over in a couple of minutes or whatever. And sometimes you're waiting around for the next one to begin, and then the actual show is quite long.
So it could just be a timing issue, maybe.
It could be. Also, I guess normally you're kind of thinking, I've got this fast pass, or I'm going here, or I've got lunch here, or whatever it is. And it just might be something that we've never had a lengthy bit of downtime where we think, oh, let's go and do that. And often having the channel as well, we might be going to take some pictures, or there's kind of specific things we might be doing. I think that's definitely something for our very next trip, because there's no reason to have not done that, so definitely we should try and do that one. And Collie River Rapids as well,
and depending when our next trip is, there might be a new president by then, and he might even
potentially
be in the attraction.
I'm not entirely sure usually how long it takes for them to add somebody new.
Clearly any incoming president has got more important things to do than go and sit for their waxwork at Disney World.
I think they're able to just like make it, but it's they do add their voice to it.
Yeah,
so.
I think they have to do something. So it's somehow dependent on the president themselves.
So. Yeah, so we will see, but we'll definitely try and do that next time for sure.
That'd be really cool. So what have you got next on your list?
So my next one is, the only reason I haven't done this is because it's very new, and as I like to point out regularly, I missed it by one day when I was there in March this year. So it literally opened the day that I was flying home, and I couldn't do it.
I love that this video is a whole bunch of excuses for why we haven't done things. It's here's a thing I really want to do, and I'm sorry that I haven't done it.
But this one is like a genuine reason. I literally haven't been there since it's been open. And that is Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
This is also on my list.
Yeah, and it's so hard to say. Disney, why did you have it be called that? It's
Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. It's so difficult.
It is. It never. If you're saying it quickly, it just never comes out properly. But
so we try and say M&M Railway.
Yes, M&M Railway is easier.
M&M for Mickey and Minnie, and then just Railway. Forget about the Runaway. It's too complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is on both our lists.
Yes, and this attraction obviously replaced the Great Movie Ride, which was such an iconic ride at Hollywood Studios. Yeah, it was a real classic, and I was sad to see it go. It was a little tired and everything, we all know that. But
it needed to either go or get refurbed. But I kind of wish they'd refurbed it. I like that ride.
I did love it. But I'm super excited to see what the new ride is like. I have seen a bit of footage here and there online. I know you've tried to stay away from it for the most part.
Yes, I've seen the odd little thing, but same as with Rise of the Resistance, I kind of like to experience it for the first time without any preconceptions. I like to know what I'm getting into, so generally I don't mind seeing things, but on this one, because I knew it wouldn't be, it's not thrill ride, it's not frightening or anything, I didn't feel the need to know what I was getting into. I just know it'll be fine, so I have tried to stay away from it so that I can experience it. I stand by my approach. It worked for Rise of the Resistance because that just blew me away, knowing nothing going in. But then Rise of the Resistance is an incredible attraction. Yeah, I mean, it's next level, so it's a whole different situation. But I'm hoping that I'll have a similar experience with M&M's Railway. I don't think it'll be quite as awesome, but I think it'll be similar. It'll be good. I just want to be pleasantly surprised. Yeah, and it's just always fun to do a new attraction. And like we've said, that one is purely because we just haven't been there since it's been open. Yeah. So we're very excited to do that. I think during this kind of strange period of time in 2020, since Disney reopened in July with no fast pass, it can get very long lines. So maybe riding it later in the day. So what's the last one on your list if you also had that one? My third ride or attraction is something that I had to include because it is an absolute classic. Why do I feel like this is going to be the same as mine? Are we going to match up again? Just from that description alone, but continue. It's not really a ride, it's more of an attraction. Oh, maybe not then. Maybe not. So my pick is Country Bear Jamboree. Oh, okay, no, we're not the same. I've never, it's same as Hall of Presidents. I've just walked past it so many times, and I've seen the bears, the characters, out and about outside the attraction, but I've never actually been in and seen the show. Yeah. So I need to do that.
Yeah, I think, like you said, again, it's something I have done it at some stage. Not for a while though. I think it was maybe on one of my first couple of visits to Florida. So like way back when, 2002 or something like that.
I mean, it is theoretically possible that I did this in '95 when I went as a kid. But you don't remember. But I certainly don't remember it. So it doesn't count in my mind.
No, if you don't remember doing it, then it doesn't count. But
and I know as well, you've got so many subscribers that are big like Country Bear Jamboree fans, because it is a really iconic classic attraction.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had to include it because I really want to do that. And again, I think we can do that on my very next trip.
So my last one, which at first when you said iconic attraction, I thought we might have been talking about the same thing. This one, I really have no excuse for why I've not done it. I just haven't. And I can't believe I haven't, because it, you know, it is very iconic. Yes, you could say the reason is probably because it's more aimed at children, but then so many things.
Now I think I know what it is.
Yeah, so many things in the Magic Kingdom are obviously more aimed at children. It is, of course, Dumbo.
So, that isn't what I was thinking.
Oh, what were you thinking?
I thought you meant the carousel.
No, I've done that loads of times.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry.
No, Dumbo. So Dumbo, I have just never ever done it. And whenever you see adverts for Disney World, whether they're recent or years gone by, that is the attraction that features in the Disney World ads, right? You always see somebody riding Dumbo. It's very, very iconic.
It is very iconic.
And I haven't done it. I just haven't. I've done the Magic Carpet Ride, which is a similar concept. So I
pretty much identical.
Yeah, really. I just don't know why I haven't done it.
Yeah, we do seem to bypass Storybook Circus more often than not, don't we? But I guess it is stuff that's more aimed at kids, so we're not really the target demographic.
Yeah, but I think next trip, again, that needs to be something that we do.
List.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's all of our rides.
Yes.
Let us know in the comments what rides are on your bucket list, because we want to know what else we might have forgotten. I thought it was pretty comprehensive about looking through the list of attractions, but maybe we missed things.
Yeah, potentially. Or let us know if you have done all of them.
Yes.
Are you someone who has done every single attraction at Disney World?
That is super impressive.
Yeah, that is good. So let us know. So let's move on to the next category. Shall we do restaurants next?
Yeah. We've gone far too long without talking about food.
I agree.
So let's get that done.
Yeah. So with restaurants, this is something that definitely, more so I would say than attractions, you tend to have your favourites and then you gravitate towards them. So I know we're definitely guilty of that. Like we go to a lot of the same places every time because you love them and they're great, and you know, maybe some places the menu is not for you, or there's nothing that you would like.
Yeah.
So, you know, doing every single restaurant in Disney World may be something I don't know if I'll ever get around to doing.
No. I think it's also the fact that so many of the restaurants, and not even restaurants, but like quick service as well, like so much of the food that you can get in Disney is so good.
Yeah.
It always feels like a risk to try somewhere new.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, what if it's not as good as somewhere else that I've already been that I could have gone to instead?
Yeah, and you've only got so much time, so you think to yourself, no, I definitely want to, you know, do these places that I know I like. So
yeah.
So who wants to go first on this one? Do you?
I can go first.
Okay.
So the first one that I've got is a place that actually, until I started looking at what restaurants were in Walt Disney World that I haven't been to, I kind of wasn't fully aware that this place existed, but it sounds and looks amazing.
Yeah, you need a list because there are so many.
This is a restaurant in the Dolphin.
Now, okay.
We have not spent a lot of time in the Dolphin at all, but whenever we do, we find it super chill and super relaxed.
Yes, I've spent a lot of time there on solo trips. It is like my go-to place that I will go and sit if I'm.
But when we're there together,
Epcot,
we don't tend to spend a lot of time in the Dolphin. And this is Shula's Steakhouse.
Okay, yeah, I can see why you would
because
go there.
It's a steakhouse.
You're a steak fan.
But it also just looks really good.
I've heard good things. I've heard really, really good things.
So I think, you know, a really good steakhouse combined with how much we like spending time in the Dolphin anyway, and considering that we don't spend as much time in the Dolphin as perhaps we should, I think maybe if on a future trip we stay at the Dolphin for part of the trip.
I mean, I want to stay at all of them,
yeah.
so definitely we will at some stage.
So I think that would definitely be something that I wouldn't want to miss out on trying it at some point.
I'm hoping they do have some kind of dishes that are not steak, because I don't eat steak.
I must admit, when I looked at the menu earlier, I was not looking for that. So we would have to review the menu to make sure it's Victoria appropriate.
Usually they do. I mean, if you're in a party of however many people, there may be somebody who's vegetarian or whatever. So
at a good steakhouse, even just the sides menu can be fantastic. You get 2 or 3 sides and you're away. Fantastic. So
yeah, that can be a good shout at Yachtsman. They have some really good sides there.
You do enjoy a side.
I do.
So what's up first for you, restaurant-wise?
I really struggled to put them in any kind of order. So the first one actually on my list is over at Animal Kingdom Lodge. And this one I know for sure that we did have a reservation here which we had to change for whatever reason, I can't remember, and that is Boma.
Ah, okay, interesting.
Yes, specifically breakfast at Boma.
Right.
So Boma is a buffet. At the moment it's closed. Animal Kingdom Lodge is still closed, and with COVID and everything, buffet restaurants are just not a thing at the moment. But they do have some kind of standard breakfast stuff, so it's good for people who are not super adventurous, but they do have some interesting dishes as well that you wouldn't find at places like Crystal Palace or Chef Mickey's. You know, it's a little bit different because it's like African inspired.
It is stuff with like an African flavour to it. Oh,
yeah.
Awesome.
Nothing too kind of crazy, but it just looks really good. I've heard amazing things about it, so definitely that is high on my list of places that I want to try. And I've even stayed at Animal Kingdom Lodge and still not eaten there. It always looked super busy when I was there, so
yeah, I mean, any excuse to spend more time in Animal Kingdom Lodge is a good thing, in my opinion.
Definitely a thing. Whether or not we will get to do this on our next trip, probably not, because Animal Kingdom Lodge is still closed. I believe a couple of the restaurants are operating because, of course, the DVC side of things is still open. So people can still stay there on DVC points, and they need to have some kind of options for people. But Boma, I don't believe, is open at the moment. So it could be a while before that one resurfaces, but definitely we'll try it at some point.
Yeah, so I am actually going to steal Boma from you as well.
Okay.
Because A, I do really want to eat there, and B, I think I got myself confused because initially I actually wrote down Gico, the cooking place.
Did you mean Boma?
I think I meant Boma.
Okay.
Because we've actually eaten at Gico.
Yeah, we have.
I subsequently realised.
And it's the signature, it's like a totally different situation.
Yeah. I think I got myself very confused, so I will also piggyback on Boma.
Yes.
And we'll double up on that one.
Okay, so that's probably what you meant, because we've definitely eaten at
I think I was thinking of Boma and just got confused with Gico.
Okay.
But I actually would like to eat at Gico again.
Yeah,
we've
not done it.
Looks really good.
Years ago, I think, was the last time we did that. So the next one on my list, I think we talked about this on the live stream on Wednesday, or maybe the last live stream that we did. And it's over in Hollywood Studios. It's one that, again, I've been meaning to do for the longest time, but just never have got round to it. And that is Hollywood Brown Derby. Yeah. Hollywood Brown Derby is a signature. So for one thing, it is, you know, more pricey, so that might be one reason. The other reason, I think, is because we love sci-fi dine-in so much that whenever we're in Hollywood Studios, we seem to, if we're eating at a table service restaurant, we'll eat there. We might be just getting quick service, so I think that's the reason it hasn't kind of happened. Yeah,
I think you're right. It's hard to remember a day we've done in Hollywood Studios where we haven't eaten at sci-fi.
Yeah, like, we do love it there.
It's either that or ABC Commissary.
Yeah.
We tend to hit up one or the other.
Yeah.
And so there's very little time left for Hollywood Brown Derby.
Yes, but we will do it at some stage. I do always have to check on the menu because there's not a whole lot of stuff I would order on their menu. So I know a couple of times when I've looked, there wasn't anything really that I would want. So maybe that's another reason we haven't done it, is just because when I went to book it, I was like, oh, actually, I don't think there's anything that we would like in that moment. A lot of you guys have said we should try it, so yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, it comes highly recommended. It always gets good reviews. People love it. So we should definitely give it a try. And
I feel like Hollywood Studios is probably the park with, aside from maybe Animal Kingdom, there's not as many table service restaurants that we like or that we go to regularly. Like Magic Kingdom, I feel like there's a lot. Epcot, there are loads. So I feel like we need to branch out a little bit in Hollywood Studios. So that'd be a good way to do that. So what is your third one on your list?
My final choice is Beer Garden.
Okay.
Germany Pavilion at Epcot. Because I imagine the atmosphere can be superb in there. Yeah. Again, probably more so in non-COVID times. Yeah, I guess it's probably closed at the moment,
I think so. I was going to say I don't even know if it's open. Maybe, I know some of the restaurants are reopening with more of a family style rather than buffet.
Ah, okay, because yes, it is family style at the moment, because that's what it's... Because I was confused when I looked it up on the Disney website. I was like, oh, I thought this was a buffet.
It usually would be a buffet,
and it was coming up as family style, so that's obviously how they're doing it.
Okay, so they're still open then, so it's still possible to go. I think I haven't been there. The food is not totally my thing.
There's a lot of sausage, isn't it?
Yeah.
To be fair.
I guess they do have stuff though if people don't eat meat or don't like meat. So definitely I would give it a go. When we did, or when I did, I should say, I did it on my own, the World Showcase tour, we actually took our break in there. So they took us in there just to kind of have a sit down and a drink and stuff. And the setting is awesome. Like, it's so cool. It really reminds me of the buffet at Paris in Vegas.
Ah, yeah, okay.
The kind of inside-outside concept. So you feel like you're kind of in this little village.
But you're actually enclosed inside. Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. It is very cool. I would love to go there for sure.
I also noticed that they have, as you would expect for the Germany Pavilion, a very, very good beer selection there as well.
Interesting.
And as a fan of beers of all nationalities, but certainly German beers are very, very good, I would probably enjoy sampling a couple of beers.
I probably wouldn't branch out and would get a Schofferhofer because I am
always get a Schofferhofer.
I am a Schofferhofer fan for sure.
And so what's your last restaurant on your bucket list?
So picking the third one was hard because there were more than one that I would put on this list. There were definitely more restaurants than just these three.
So there's going to be some honourable mentions at the end,
maybe. I'm going to try not to. I'm going to stick to three. But this one is over in Epcot, and Epcot has so many table service restaurants, so it takes you a while to get through them all, and especially if you have your favourites. And some of the cuisine might not be your thing particularly, which makes some restaurants very difficult to go to because like almost everything there is...
In the World Showcase, obviously, there's a lot of variety with the different world cuisines, so that isn't always to everyone's taste. But the beauty of it is you can always find something you like. Exactly.
But this particular restaurant is over in the Mexico Pavilion. So you will have seen in the vlogs that we've done San Angel Inn. I always want to call it San Angel Inn, but it's San Angel, I guess. We love it there. The atmosphere in that restaurant is truly something else. It's unbelievable. But La Hacienda de San Angel is outside, and I've never ever eaten in that restaurant. And the food is, I would say, probably more the kind of thing I would enjoy there than in San Angel Inn, but I just love the atmosphere in there. But they do have a great position by the water, so whenever the fireworks are happening, which of course they're not at the moment, but usually when they are, if you can get a window table in there when the fireworks are going on, it is amazing. Like,
I can imagine that would be incredible.
Such a good view. And it's not, although they're always busy, but it's not one of the most popular restaurants in Epcot. So you might stand a chance if you book around the right time of getting one of those tables. But I'm sure you'd get a good view from most tables in there.
I mean, you're right on the water, so you're going to see what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm sure they pipe in the music and stuff as well.
Yeah. And they used to have, I don't know if it's still on the menu because a lot of menus have changed up since COVID and everything, but they used to have kind of big sharing platters in there.
Oh, okay.
And I think, looking at them, it would be the kind of thing that you and I could probably split. So
let's check it out.
Yeah.
Let's get on it.
Yeah. So that could definitely be somewhere for our next trip, for sure. So should we move on to resorts?
I just wanted to give one honourable mention.
Oh, you've got an honourable mention.
Just one.
I knew there would be one.
Well, it doesn't quite count because it isn't open yet.
Oh, okay.
So I think you know what it's going to be.
Oh, I think I know what it's going to be.
Space 220.
Yeah.
In Epcot. I am very excited about this restaurant.
The restaurant that never opens.
It has been so close to opening for so long now, and with everything that's happened this year, it just keeps getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, which is fine by me because we can't go at the moment.
Right.
But when that opens, I want to go.
Yeah, it looks awesome and such an amazing concept to feel like you're in space. I know it will be amazing.
Yeah.
So that's definitely going to be on the bucket list.
I feel like that could become the sci-fi of Epcot for us. That is going to be a place that we want to keep going back to.
I think that it will be more of an expensive, high-end experience than sci-fi.
Oh, is that the case?
I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I may have got that wrong, but when I was reading some of the stuff about it and they were talking about like wine lists and stuff, I get the impression it's going to be a bit more high tier than maybe sci-fi. No shade on sci-fi, I love it. It's one of my favourite restaurants.
But luckily it's a little bit more affordable than Signature.
I mean, all restaurants at Disney, let's be honest, are kind of pricey.
All things are relative.
Yes, exactly. But I think it is going to be a slightly more expensive experience. And also with Epcot, it's hard to always go back to the same place every time.
There's so much choice.
There are just so many.
True.
Like when you look at all of the parks, like restaurants listed out, the list for Epcot is like so much longer than
it's
all
unreal
of the others.
How long it is. When you think about so many good places there as well, it's not just that there's lots, but they're so good. Whether it's Le Cellier or Chefs de France or Tapenado or
Via Napoli.
For us, Nine Dragons. I know some people don't like it, but Via Napoli, and there's just so many good places. I said Chefs de France.
Oh, you did say that, sorry. Yeah, there's so many good ones. So it'd be hard to keep going back to.
There's a lot of competition is what we're saying.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
We probably won't end up going there again and again and again, especially if it's pricey.
Yes.
But I definitely want to go because I've been looking forward to it for a long time.
Yes, haven't we all?
I want it.
Definitely. It's a little bit like the reopening of the railroad in the Magic Kingdom.
I know, right?
It feels like that kind of situation. Like, is it ever going to actually happen? We don't know.
It's kind of how I feel about the TTA as well now. It's been down for so long. I'm like, I want to ride the TTA.
Yeah, it's drifting into that very, very lengthy refurb. So, we will see.
I'm not impressed with this.
So, should we move on to resorts?
Yes, let's do it.
Last category. So, shall I go first?
Yeah, why not?
I have a feeling that my first one is going to be on both our lists.
I think I know what it's going to be.
It is a bit of a standing joke in.
But you've already been there, so.
I have been there. I have not stayed there, crucially. This list, just to clarify, is places we haven't stayed. So we might have visited these resorts, but we haven't stayed in them.
I'm not sure there's any resort we haven't been to.
I think I have visited every single resort.
We just haven't stayed in them all.
So this one is fairly new. It's DVC Resort, and it is, of course, the Riviera.
Yes, the Riviera.
Which is in such a good location. Let's just talk about that first of all. So the location of this resort is right on the Skyliner route, which is perfect. It's got its own Skyliner station as well. Now, in terms of resorts where you think of things like Animal Kingdom Lodge and the Polynesian and, you know, huge sweeping lobbies as you walk in, Riviera is not that.
No.
So when you walk into the lobby, it's quite small, it's quite compact, it's kind of like Bay Lake Tower in that respect.
I was going to say it's like a tower resort.
Exactly.
Rather than a big sprawling...
It doesn't have like this huge lobby when you walk in. But it's certainly very nice. I did do a walk around in the February-March trip that I did this year. So we'll try and link that in the description to that episode, so you can see what it looks like. And I did walk around and just show the store that's there, and there's like a bakery and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's very, very beautiful. And the outside area where they have the pool and all of the kind of like gardens, I would say, like the outside area is very, very beautiful. It's right next to Caribbean Beach, so they almost like when one of them finishes, then the next one begins.
Obviously, the theming, as the name suggests, is it's the European Riviera.
Exactly.
So it's very much got French vibes, Italian vibes, that kind of thing going on. You know, think the Bellagio in Vegas. It's that sort of vibe, isn't it?
Definitely. And they have beautiful artwork all throughout the hallways. When you're going to the Skyliner, you actually go past a lot of the guest rooms and you can kind of see that going on. And it's just very, very beautiful. And we definitely want to stay there, mainly because of the location, to be honest. It's so great being right there. To get to Hollywood Studios and Epcot is really, really great.
Any resort that's got Skyliner is like a step above almost any other resort, in my opinion. The Skyliner has truly been a game changer, at least for us. We love it.
Yeah, I love the Skyliner. And actually we weren't booked into the Riviera. We had a wait list for our trip that we should have been going on in November, December, so obviously that's now passed and we couldn't go. But we did have a wait list which still hadn't kind of come through, because they do have, with it being a DVC resort and it's exclusively a DVC resort, that's not to say you can't stay there, you can pay cash to stay there, but it does mean that all of the rooms are studios. So they have, well, a studio, a 1-bedroom and a 2-bedroom. I'm not sure if they have grand villas there, maybe not.
Don't they have two kinds of studio though?
They do. So they have the Tower Studio, which is the smallest hotel room, I think, of any category at Disney World. So it's meant for just 2 people. It has one pull down kind of double or queen bed or whatever it is, and that's it. So you are only, it's for couples basically.
There's no Murphy bed, there's no roll out, there's no sofa bed. It's just one bed.
It's a 2-person room. Then they have the regular studios, which is where if there was 4 people or whatever, you would stay in there. And we waitlisted one of the tower rooms, but we don't own DVC at Riviera. So I believe there's only about 14 of them in the building, which is very, very few. So
pretty hard to get.
Yeah, trying to get one of those tower studios is quite tricky. But again, they don't cost very much in points because they're smaller. So we were hoping to stay there. Yeah. And the joke comes in where I forget how it even started, but the running joke is Ian
you stayed
saying,
at Riviera behind my back without telling me,
which I didn't. This is why I don't understand.
So she says. I must admit, I've kind of forgotten how the joke originated now.
Ian has a tendency to like start something off and then he can't even remember why it's a thing. I have not stayed at Riviera without Ian, nor am I planning to, but it's a thing that he says and accuses me.
I think it was a solo trip that you went on and I just decided that you'd stayed at the Riviera because you seem to know an awful lot about it.
No, I think what it was, when I was going on a solo trip, I had a wait list for it, which was incredibly unlikely to happen. But Ian was like, "Oh, I see, you're going to stay there without me," and I think that's how it began. I didn't get to go on that trip in any case, and now I wouldn't dare stay there without him, obviously, because it's some kind of big deal.
Oh, now you wouldn't, but in the past you would.
Well, I didn't realise it was such a big deal. So yeah. Anyway, Riviera is definitely on my list. Was that on your list?
Yes, it was.
It was, yeah. So
that was always going to be on both our lists. Yeah. Because, definitely want to stay there.
Yeah, we're very keen to stay there for sure. So what else is on your list?
So my next one is kind of a bit cheeky because it's technically 2 resorts.
Oh, I see.
But I think I'll get away with it because it's Beach and Yacht Club.
Oh, there's a lot of crossover happening.
So
I have one of these on my list.
Okay, so I couldn't decide, so I just said beach club or yacht club. I don't mind.
Different ones. So
they are different, and
cheating.
I'm not like lumping them into the same category and saying that they're the same, but they are in the same physical location right next to each other, and they are somewhat similar in terms of, because of where they have a similar surrounding, and yes, they are themed differently, but a lot of people think of yacht and beach club together.
Do you know what? I feel like Yacht and Beach Club are like twins who are desperate for their own identity.
Yes.
And find it virtually impossible to separate themselves. Because they do get lumped in together all the time. People say Yacht and Beach Club as if it's one thing. They are two separate resorts. Yacht Club is just hotel. Beach Club is hotel, and it has a DVC section, which Yacht Club doesn't. And Yacht Club is the one I had on my list, actually.
Right.
So Beach Club also haven't stayed there, and I would love to, but Yacht Club out of the two is probably the one I'm most keen.
Well, in that case,
to stay at.
I'll take Beach Club. You can have Yacht Club, and then we get to do both.
So then technically you haven't added an extra one to your list.
Exactly.
I get you. So these two resorts, I would say, are probably among the most visited by people who are not staying there, purely based on the location. So as you come out of the International Gateway from Epcot, Beach Club is the first one you get to. So tons of people will go there to go and get an Uber if they want to head home, and it's just the quickest place to get to go and do that. It's really nice to look around. It has Beaches and Cream, which is of course a very popular restaurant.
I was going to say, dining in general is one of the key reasons why people go to both Beach Club and Yacht Club, because you've got Yachtsman's Steakhouse as well. You've got Ale and Compass at
Cape May
Club.
Cafe at Beach Club
Cape May
as well.
Cafe. There's Beaches and Cream. There's so many good places to eat at both of these resorts. So yeah, also there's now Skyliner basically next door. Right,
if you're at the Beach Club especially, it is literally right there at the International Gateway. And of course it is in the boardwalk area, so many people visit the boardwalk and walk all the way around and go into Beach and Yacht Club. Again, with COVID at the moment, it's unclear whether you can just go in and wander around resorts. We were talking about this in one of our podcasts.
Reports
recently.
are kind of varied as to whether they're enforcing what the rules technically are.
Yeah, some people are saying you have to have a dining reservation or be picking up a mobile order from one of the quick service places. Other people have had the experience where they've been allowed to just walk in. So just bear that in mind. At the moment, you may not be able to just walk in and wander around, but usually you can do that. So when things go back to some kind of normality, you should be able to. But
if you're watching this far in the future and COVID is in the past, then hi, remember this? This was weird.
Remember this weird time.
But if you are looking to go 2021, just be aware.
The next
you might find that things are a bit different to what they have been in the past.
So the last one I had on my list is over at the Contemporary. So we've stayed at Bay Lake Tower before, which was great. We absolutely loved it, but I've never stayed at the Contemporary Resort.
Right.
And a lot of you will know it's one of my favourite places. I think just because it's not the most themed, there is no question, when you look at places like Wilderness Lodge and Animal Kingdom Lodge, but to me, the first time I went to Disney World, I did take the monorail and went through the Contemporary. So even people who don't visit resorts, they literally just go to the parks and back to their car or whatever, will have seen the Contemporary because of that journey on the monorail. It's just
iconic as well.
Exactly,
right? I mean, the Contemporary is one of, if not the most iconic hotel buildings or resort buildings in Disney World. It's up there with anything else. It's been there from day one, and it is just an icon.
It is, and it's not really about the theming so much. It's just, for me, the location is obviously incredible. You can actually walk across to the Magic Kingdom. Specifically, though, I do want to stay in the tower because they do have the garden wing, which if you've taken the boat across to Fort Wilderness or Wilderness Lodge, you will have gone past those rooms. It's a separate wing, and really I would feel very removed from staying at the Contemporary if I was in those rooms. I would definitely want to stay in the tower. Preferably
specifically with a theme park view,
which is then we're talking pricey. But
is this a money tree?
I'm hoping
because that's the only way that's going to happen.
But that is my kind of dream room to stay in at Disney World. Is a Contemporary Resort Tower theme park view. That's on my bucket list for sure.
But in a pinch, any Contemporary room, and then we can just go to Cali Grill to see the fireworks.
Sure, that also works. But I do really want to stay at the Contemporary at some point because it is awesome.
So are we on to my final pick?
Yes.
So this is a very specific pick.
Oh, okay.
So I could have picked this entire resort.
Right.
But I've made a very specific selection because this is bucket list.
Have you picked a room number specifically?
Not a specific room number, but nearly.
Okay.
So this is at the Polynesian.
Right.
Now, I have not stayed at the Polynesian before. You have.
We are booked to stay there though in February.
So
fingers crossed.
I would love to stay at the Polynesian full stop. However, for my bucket list choice,
Right.
I would love to stay at one of the bungalows at the Polynesian.
I see we've both gone for the Megabucks option as the last one on our list.
This is,
right.
this is bucket list stuff. So this is
True.
is aspirational if we could kind of stuff.
That certainly would be aspirational. They look incredible.
They look so cool.
They do, and obviously they are not necessarily meant for couples. They're very big. They do sleep quite a few people, but I know a lot of couples do stay there if they are able to, because it's a very, very nice room.
I feel like if we ever did it, it would be like a one night thing.
Oh, for
like
sure, yeah.
Other times when we've stayed at Bay Lake Tower, for example, for just one night, like at the end of a trip or something like that. I feel like if we ever did it, that would probably be it. Or if we could get a group together.
Right, yeah.
Like in the future when it's possible to go places in a group.
I mean, I don't know who is staying in these things for like a 2-week trip, but well done to you if you are, because...
Yeah, I mean, fair play.
That would be pretty amazing.
I still feel like it would be like a 1, 2 or 3 night kind of thing, even if we had a group.
For sure.
But yeah, I would just love to stay there. They are so luxurious, so just unbelievably nice.
And they don't have a pool or a hot tub, but they have like this... It's like a teeny tiny little pool at the back, which you can sit in to watch the fireworks.
Yeah, it's kind of like a plunge pool.
That type of thing.
Yeah.
But they do look incredible. Kate and I actually stayed at the Polynesian and had a view of the Magic Kingdom fireworks, so we also had a view of the bungalows.
Nice.
So that was kind of right outside our window.
So you could just like glare at people down there and be jealous of them.
Yeah, there didn't seem to be anybody in the couple that were right opposite us, but they do look incredible. If you've ever taken the ferry boat from the Ticket and Transportation Centre over to the Magic Kingdom, you will have seen those bungalows all along the shoreline there, and yeah, they look super impressive.
They're so amazing.
Yeah.
And just, it would be a once in a lifetime like experience.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Yeah, I'd really love to do that.
Yeah.
The one honourable mention that I had for this section...
Oh, okay.
No, this is an honourable mention because this isn't technically a resort.
Okay.
And you can't pay to stay there. But of course...
Are you going to say the Cinderella Castle Suite?
Heck yeah, I am.
I mean,
If I could stay in the castle, that would be the dream. That's everyone's dream, right? Anyone who's been to Walt Disney World would love to stay in that suite in the castle.
Right. If we're talking true bucket list, including things that are unrealistic, then yes, I would love to stay in the castle suite. I didn't include it because it's something that I feel can't happen.
I mean, it's real, it exists, but it's not something that's ever going to happen.
Yeah, it's kind of like a unicorn. It exists. No one ever really sees it, but it's there. If you haven't seen it, just Google Cinderella Castle Suite, and it is actually an entire suite in Cinderella Castle. They used to give it away as a prize during, they had like a year, was it a year of Million Dreams or something it was called, where they would give it away. They've also given it away in charity situations, so it's
like Make-A-Wish and stuff like that.
Right, yeah.
Let kids stay there and stuff like that. So it's pretty incredible. It's not anything
you can't book it though.
Normal people like us are ever going to be able to do. You can't. No. You have to be special.
I would love to just go in there and look at it and vlog it for you guys. Can you even imagine? I don't know what I would do if that happened.
And who knows? Maybe at some point in the future they'll open it up a little bit more so that maybe you can at least look around it or see bits of it.
Maybe.
But I can't see Disney ever letting anyone pay to stay there.
The thing is, it kind of, if they allow people in more, it kind of takes away from the very exclusive mystery of that room. So yeah.
Can you imagine, like, sleeping in the Magic Kingdom?
Yeah, and
you
also
get up in the morning and look out the window of the castle.
Oh, don't. It would be incredible. But they actually do have to chaperone people who stay there. I think you do have somebody kind of out in the hall because they cannot have people wandering around in the Magic Kingdom or getting out in the middle of the night and when all that kind of thing. So yeah, it's a bit of a strange one.
Just lock you in. Like, as long as you've got like a bathroom and stuff, there's no reason.
I don't know. I feel like they're probably not allowed to do that, and it might be some kind of fire hazard or something.
Oh, you're probably right. Yeah, you're probably right.
So yeah, it's definitely like a different experience. Let's say
this is why I'm not in charge of theme parks. I'd just be like locking the guests,
locking people in their rooms, and not letting them out. Yeah.
But yeah, so I thought I had to give that an honourable mention, but it doesn't count as an actual pick.
Sure.
It ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, and that concludes our bucket list.
Yeah.
So there's obviously so many more things that that we could have added. We only did 3 because we didn't want this video to be like 2 hours long. And there are other things as well that don't necessarily fall into those categories that we could have included. But we just wanted to let you know the things that we haven't done that we most want to do, that we really are kind of keen to tick off that bucket list. So definitely let us know in the comments what is on your bucket list in these categories, like which restaurant, which resort, which ride have you not done. Like we were saying earlier, if you've done all of the rides, or for that matter all of the restaurants or all of the resorts, let us know that as well.
In which case, wow.
Yeah, you've been going some if you've done that, but yeah, definitely let us know. Once we've done the things we've mentioned here, if we did this again next year, there would be more stuff that we still haven't done. So there's always something new, which is what's so great and why we go so often, because it's awesome. There's always lots of things to do at Disney. So we hope you enjoyed hearing about our bucket list, and we hope you're all doing well. Like we said, this is a slightly different type of video. All of the videos this year, for the most part, apart from like very early in the year, have been a bit different in the current situation. We've obviously mentioned it throughout the video. We are hoping to be able to go back to Disney very soon. I'm so keen to film new vlogs for you guys, and I know you guys are so keen for new vlogs.
How keen are you? On a scale of 1 to...
Yeah, I mean, it's 10. I'm very keen. Obviously, you know, we can't do so until it's safe, but we're starting to see some hope that soon we may be able to go. And when I am able to, I will be bringing you lots of live streams, lots of new vlogs. The trip I do have planned is actually a month long, in order to just bring you as many videos as I can, and frankly, because I want to go to Disney for a month. I'm not going to lie.
It's definitely for both those reasons.
Yeah, it didn't start out as a trip that long. I'd never done a trip that long, but as things have got cancelled this year and pushed into next year, this trip has just kind of expanded to the point where it is now a whole month, which would be amazing.
Would be amazing. Not quite as altruistic as maybe it sounded at first. Where it's like, I just want to make sure that you get your vlogs. It's not just that. You do want to go.
It's not just that, but you know, in all honesty, I wouldn't just go on a holiday for an entire month.
No, true.
If I didn't do this as, you know, as what I do, I wouldn't be going for a whole month. It is.
I think as well, like this year.
Has, both.
I think that this year has just taught us that lesson of like, sometimes things can go away that you didn't expect to go away.
Exactly.
And like neither of us ever thought that Disney would be something that went away for any period
of
time.
Not that it has gone away, but it's gone away for us.
I mean, it did go away for a little bit for everyone.
Yeah.
But even now it's reopened, it's still gone away for us. And I think it's just made us realise that, well, that could happen again. Like, there are things that could happen, right? And you can't predict the future. And so I think we're both very keen to like make the most of this next trip that we get to do, because we're going to be so grateful for it.
Like, when they let me in, I'm going for it.
I'm staying as long as I possibly can.
Staying as long as I need to get all of those vlogs. So yeah, that's kind of why that's ended up happening. But we really hope we'll be able to do that trip. And like I say, we'll try and sort of live stream every day and really just bring you lots of new content.
We're going to need to like stock up on memory cards and hard drives and stuff.
I know it will be a working trip for me, no question, but I'm very excited for it. So we just want to say a huge thank you for watching as always, and for sticking with us through this crazy year. And just you're all awesome for supporting us here, for liking, commenting, subscribing, with Patreon as well. Everyone who supports over on Patreon, we do have a podcast over there for those who may be interested. We will link that below. But you're just all great, and we hope that you're doing well and staying safe and hanging in there until you can kind of get back on your Disney trips or just get back to some kind of normality. We hope you're all doing good.
We know that some of you have been able to go to Disney.
Yes, those of you in the States.
So we're very jealous of you folks who've been able to actually get back to the parks.
Yeah, a lot of you guys are watching from the States and you have been able to go, so we're very jealous and living vicariously. But yeah, we just hope you're all staying safe, and we will see you next week for another video, which I'm not going to reveal what it is yet. I do know, it's not because I don't know. I
was going to say, is it because it's a secret?
No, I do know.
You haven't decided
I do
yet.
know. So we'll see you next week for that one. And yeah, let us know, like we said, if you want to see Tokyo reaction vlogs, because we will do that as well. So anyway, we hope you're having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.